Okay, so you guys might not be aware of this game. This game is called Mecharashi. A couple of days ago, I talked about this particular game. I was very excited to play this game. Now, what is this game all about? So let's just roughly look at the game as a whole, alright? So the game is a mech gacha game, alright? So it has weapons. Let's show you guys. So this is going to be a much more accurate depiction. So as you can see, Wolverine, extremely cool. So this is the mech right here. Look at that. Green colored mech. Love that. Love that accent. Alright, you got, this is a light rifle. Now I want you guys to observe one thing, right? If you notice at the bottom right and bottom left, those are the pilots as well, right? So there's body, arm and legs. So you basically try to damage the enemy using this particular thing. Now this is example of what the game or in-game graphics is going to be like, right? Boom. Okay. Now a little bit of context about this game. Alright, a little bit of context about this game, Mecharashi. What happened or what actually happened, right? So if you guys are not aware, Mecharashi originally was supposed to be a game that initially they worked with Square Enix. Alright, this particular game, they initially worked with Square Enix about 3 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong about the dates, right? I think about 3 years ago, I saw an announcement Square Enix was going to release this particular game. Alright, but and the original title for this game is called Front Mission something. I think Front Mission Mecharashi or something. That's the original title, right? In the end, I think Square Enix abandoned the project. Right, Square Enix abandoned the project and say, okay, we're not gonna release this particular game. And I think the developer that was Square Enix is supposed to be a publisher, right? So I think the Front Mission IP is owned by Square Enix. But now this game, after like years later, suddenly 2025, they say they're gonna release the game, right? But the IP is owned by Square Enix, right? So that's going to be, it's going to cause a little bit of complication. So you can see there's a little bit of lawsuit going on. Alright, Square Enix files lawsuit against Mecharashi's former Front Mission game, HK 10-3 Limited. So this is going to be a bit of a complication, right? So who actually owns the IP? Does Square Enix owns the IP, or the game in this case, or the developer actually owns this IP, right? Because I know like a lot of game industry, and it's very complicated with stuff like this. So let's say Disney hires a studio to make a Mickey Mouse game. Alright, maybe not Mickey Mouse, maybe Little Mermaid. Alright, let's say Disney hire a studio to make Little Mermaid Gacha. Little Mermaid, and then this company make Little Mermaid Gacha, but Disney say, okay, we're gonna cancel the project. Alright, cancel the project is cancelled, and then the studio get disbanded. So who owns the IP to that game that was cancelled? Is it, in this case, Disney, or is it the studio that made it, right? Because they already cancelled it entirely. So I think it's very complicated, right? I don't know how this works, but I really want this game to actually come out in the Play Store. So it does look like it has some sort of potential. Alright, it also has like cool pilot design as well. So you can see alongside with the all of the mechs and stuff, they also have some cool pilots alongside with it as well, right? Behemoth. Like, look at this, man. This is like so cool. IP rights depend on the contract and whom the IP is registered. That's the thing though, right? So right now, you can see there's muscular dudes. Alright, if you love muscular dudes, this game is for you. They even announced they're gonna $30 gift or whatever. So this is going to be some of the pilot designs. I find this very interesting design, right? So this guy, William Stein, okay? And then we got this girl, Rosa Diaz. So these are the pilot characters, right? So let me try and read this article and try to understand where this is coming from. Popular game developer Square Enix files lawsuit over Front Mission copyright infringement, alright? So the company Square Enix filed a lawsuit against Chinese company HK 10-3 Limited 10-3 regarding its game Metal Storm of Mecharashi released last year. Alright, so by the way, in case you guys are wondering why last year, the game is actually already out in CN. In CN, this game you can play already, but Global is coming out supposedly this year, right? The Square Enix lawsuit alleges Metal Storm violates the copyright of its Front Mission IP. Notably, while Square Enix permitted another company to develop a game based on Front Mission, this license agreement was later terminated. So you can see, right, they terminate the license later on. Square Enix alleges that the 10-3 comprises members of that other company using assets it never had permission to release. Very interesting. While never giving permission to 10-3, Square Enix says it did license the Front Mission IP to Shanghai Zhishun Information Technology, Zhishun, in 2019 to develop and operate a game worldwide. This game, Front Mission 2089 Borderscape, was developed but was never released. Now again, this is the game, right? They basically cancelled the game, so who owns the rights to the assets in this case? Square Enix later terminated the license agreement, maintaining that all copyrights remain with Square Enix. Square Enix's version of the events is below, right? So 2019, Square Enix licensed the Front Mission IP to Zhishun right here, right? 2021, the license agreement between Square Enix and Zhishun was amended. Details unknown. Zhishun later developed this game called Front Mission 2089 Borderscape. Front Mission Borderscape. Okay, that was the name, right? This was never released, and Square Enix maintains its agreement with Zhishun that it will keep all property rights. But the game never got released though. So I wonder why Square Enix tried to sue this company, because now I understand that your game is out there and another company copy your game. I understand that. But you never actually wanted to release the game. So why sue a company that you never want to release or use the assets for, right? So it's a bit weird. Why would Square Enix do this, right? Maybe it's like I don't know how this Japanese law works, right? Square Enix and Zhishun terminated the license agreement, and then they development of Front Mission Borderscape in 2022. 2024, they released this game under a different name, alright? It's supposed to be this game, but they released it, use the same assets and everything, called Mecharashi. Okay, so it used the game mechanics, visual designs, and other protected content. While identities are unknown, Square Enix believes 10-3 comprises of staff who work on Front Mission Borderscape. 2024 December, Square Enix sends a formal demand letter to 10-3 demanding the removal of infringing copyright and written assurances to prevent continued infringement. So 10-3 responds acknowledging that it has changed certain aspects of Metal Storm. Square Enix says not all infringing content was removed, and 10-3 did not provide written assurances that it would prevent future infringement. So 2025, this is around last month, right? Square Enix has sent DMCA takedown notices to Valve, operator of Steam, Apple, and Google, requesting them to remove Metal Storm. So Valve removes Metal Storm from Steam. So 10-3 contested Square Enix's DMCA takedown requests. They fought back. Damn, this drama is crazy. They actually fought back. Square Enix files a legal complaint in Tokyo District Court regarding the copyright infringement. Okay, Tokyo District Court, but I feel like 10-3 is in China. Square Enix is in Japan. So I wonder how this works. Square Enix filed a legal complaint in the US against 10-3, alleging copyright infringement. So this is the latest one, March 13th. This was about 1 week ago. So Square Enix filed the legal complaint at the US District Court for the Western District of Washington. Believes the court has jurisdiction because after it filed a DMCA takedown notice for Valve in February, 10-3 filed a counter notification with Valve, meaning that it consented to the jurisdiction in which Valve resides in Bellevue, Washington. I have no idea how these laws work, man. It's all over the place in the entire world. In Washington, in Tokyo, in China. So Square Enix provided images of the alleged copyright infringement. Okay, let's have a look. Alright, let's have a look. So this is the, oh, they even have documents for this, eh? So let's try and zoom in a little bit. So screenshots of the licensed game Front Mission Borderscape. So screenshot of the infringing game Metal Storm. Ah, the left and right image looks a bit different. How about the other one? So the left one and the right one. So the building, is it? The building, they are highlighting the building. I assume the building is the same. And is it the road? The road is the same, not the robots maybe. You can change the robots, but you cannot use the asset. In this case, it's the road maybe, right? But yeah, this is very complicated, right? So again, with all of this copyright stuff, oh, there are even more screenshots. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This one is for the mech. There's so many proof of this, so I don't know how they can get away with it, right? Okay, let's have a look. The left one and the right one. So it's the same pose, but the robot looks a bit... The sky looks different, right? The robot, maybe a little bit different. They should have changed the color more, I guess, right? Now this one as well, okay. Okay, this one looks really similar. This one, the left and right one look really similar. They didn't change this enough, right? What else? Let me see. So this one, the desert and the... It literally looked the same, except for this building is more zoomed out. But that one looks really similar. Yeah, the map looks too similar. At least you like orient it differently, right? So this one is like this. This one is like that. Okay, you just change the color a little bit. So, okay. This one looks way more different. But maybe you have to zoom in and look at the characters or the sprites. This one looks way cooler. The right one looks a bit childish. Alright. Robot is like poorly paraphrasing an essay. It's a reskin job. Oh, they're circling the assets, my bad. It's not the robot, it's the assets here, right? Let's see. I don't know what I'm supposed to look at. Maybe it's like the words written on the or maybe the coloring of the coloring or the customization of the robot. Is it the order, the orientation of the colors in the order? So okay, this one you can see the asset clearly being reused of that crystal the vial thing, right? Again, yeah, I can see some of the similarities here and there, right? It is very similar. Square Enix wants a trial by jury and 6 damages and 10 trees profits from Metal Storm, which are currently unknown. Alternatively, it seeks a maximum of 150,000 for each copyright violation. 150,000 for each of it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Times 150,000, that's like a lot of million. That's definitely in the millions. For sure it's in the millions, right? So Square Enix demands reimbursement of attorney's fees and full legal costs. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of insane, right? So Front Mission is being owned, Square Enix do have the IP, right? It is their IP. So I don't know if what is going to happen to this game now. I have no idea, because they when was the latest post, right? Their latest post was March 17. That was like 3 days ago. They still are posting stuff on their social media. So is the game gonna get global release? I have no idea. But there's not much followers, right? You can see. It is going to be a little bit tough for them. I hope they get more recognition, but we'll see, man. We'll see. It's very complicated. This is between 2 corporations. We don't really know the whole thing, right? We are just players. Sometimes like it gets super complex, right?